Okay, hopefully the microphone is better. This is take two, just me talking. We gonna call this part two because we might make it a two-parter. Um, if I had to do like a retrospective of my first semester, um, I mean it's school, similar in some ways to high school, and a lot unlike it in others. Similar in that you go to school and you do work and you have these classes. I mean, obvious things, but like it's still schoolwork. It's not really much harder yet. Thankfully, it's really not much harder than what I was doing in school, in high school. Um, but like, I don't know. It's hard. It ain't hard being alone. It's just like, damn. Like I am alone though. Like, is this a taste of the real world? Is this what it is like? You know? Because I feel like I don't know. Part of me feels like I'm on the fringe. Part of me doesn't. But like, I'm a music major, and they have they have the marching 100 here. I'm going to FAMU, by the way, and shout out the posters. Shout out Champloo, Scott Pilgrim. But yeah, I'm at FAMU, by the way, and uh, they have the marching 100 here. So I went to their band camp, and I was like, cool, but I'm not gonna do it this year because it was like it was a lot, and I didn't want to put myself. I didn't want to bite too much off my first year. Looking back on it now, I could have done it, but I'm not mad at it either way. I'm sort of just jealous at the people who did do it. Like, I respect y'all. I greatly respect y'all. I feel like my glasses are sitting on my face. Wonky, but whatever. They're like offset just a little bit, but that's all right. Um, I'm sort of just jealous because, for some context, my freshman year of high school uh, was a tough one because I didn't have too many friends. So I had like one or two friends the whole year, and that was it. Um, and then I moved high schools after that, and like uh, from that point on, I had a much better time. Sophomore year was slightly better. Junior year was slightly better. Senior year, slightly better. To the point where it like accumulated and got pretty good. I enjoyed my high school experience. But now with college, it feels like I'm doing the same thing all over again. And it's like, oh gosh, like I'd really rather not. At times, it feels like I would really just rather not. Um, at least socially. Just like a lot of what I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm just not great socially, I guess. I guess I should. One of my goals this year is to work on that. To talk to new people, give more compliments, just be more outgoing because I feel like at one point I was, and then like COVID hit, and it like killed that. So that, um, and then there's like the music. I'm a music major. I'm a jazz major specifically, um, and I really don't regret it. I'm not mad at it, but like I probably should have done the 100 if I so that I could develop like relationships with the people because I still am. I just sort of like slowed the process down of that right now. Like it has its pros and its cons. Um, so now I'm sort of like developing these relationships with these professors slower, and my classmates and the other students slower, and it's I ain't mad at it. There are some really talented musicians here, and I'm very impressed. And it's sometimes I get like this imposter syndrome, but I also look at it and I go, well, they've been here for a little while. Like I'm looking at seniors and juniors and even sophomores, and I'm going, why can't I do that yet? Why can't I play that yet? Why am I not as good as you? Which, it's good. There's always the urge to be the best, and sometimes it turns into jealousy, which or envy, which I ain't even mad at, because I mean, at least for me, it's a pretty good motivator. Trying to like, uh, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I feel like that's a pretty real thing. Everybody wants to be like Mike for a reason because he's the best. It's like I'm trying to be like these musicians. I'm even trying to go over to Florida State for my master's eventually, but I have to develop and I have to put in the time and effort. And there's that has its own issues for me, because sometimes it's like sometimes I struggle with like motivation and consistency, and that's a part that I've been trying to work on for a minute now, at least a couple of years, just since I've been cognizant of it, and the fruits of it are starting to show. Like from last year, like from the beginning of my senior year to now, I've put in a lot of work, but I have to like that's like the basis. That was like the first time. Basically, junior year was like of high school was when I realized, man, okay, I want to be a musician. So this is what I have to do. These are the positions. These are the steps, places. These are the places I have to be in order to achieve this goal. Because music is different. Is a different field than a lot of what people major in nowadays. It's a much different field. Um, just because it's much more creative. It's not all just like numbers and typing. Not to say that that's what all these other assignments or these other areas are, like engineering or mathematics or science, but like music is just different because it's a creative process. There's an audience process, and it's a sort of an audience process. You create for people, and you have to uh, sort of rely on how it's received as a musician. So that's something. You know, I have to charge my laptop. That's its own thing. Another thing is just like I forget my train of thought because I just plugged my charger in. I was talking about music has a different field. Another thing, sometimes I feel like I'm just not good enough. It's the imposter syndrome coming. And so it's like, okay, here's the dilemma. I could continue on the path I'm on, wondering if I'm not good enough. But but there's lore that I haven't shared yet that is sort of the reason as to why I am doing jazz as my major. Um, and then I could also I'm here not only for jazz but also for like the music industry program because they have a lot of music business and technology classes that I'm really interested because I make beats. Before I wanted to be a jazz musician, I wanted to be a music producer, and I still love producing music. That's still like where my heart lies. Like it's jazz first, and then it's music producing. Although jazz is like just above, but I really love both, and also really love writing in English, so jazz, music producing, and then let's say writing. I'm trying to merge all three. I'm trying to be like Gil Scott Heron, like James Brown. Like Kendrick of the day. Like trying to be like those guys of today. And Kendrick too, because he's of today. But like those guys are the idols. Um, I love the way Coltrane. I love the way his solos sound. I love Freddie Hubbard's tone. I love the way Clifford Brown and Dizzy Gillespie can just crack out like the craziest phrase, and it could be literally up in the stratosphere, and then they bring it back down and go back up again just for fun. I love how like it's like how slick Miles plays his solos, his phrases, his songs. He just does them like so lackadaisically, like, oh, I really am him. Like I'm just him. That's it. I'm just that guy. Um, Chad's tone is also one of those ones where you listen to it and you're like, that's good stuff. There are all these things from all these artists that I'm trying to like take. I'm trying to take this from you and that from you and this from you. It's like when you see the interviews and you like the Cole Palmer interview and he's like, I want the right foot of Ronaldo and the left foot of Messi and the athleticism of Drogba, like stuff like that. Being the best out of like the best. That's what I'm trying to be. Pretty lofty ideals, but yeah. And it's tough. It's really tough. I'm getting back here, and I'm like rolling up the boulder. I'm like Sisyphus rolling up the boulder, and I just got to start. I just got to push. Because once I get this little bit of moment, well, maybe I'm not Sisyphus because he doesn't actually get to the top of the mountain. Maybe I'm trying to push the boulder down. Like I pushed it down from August to December, okay, and then it rolled to a stop. Now here I am trying to push and get that start going. That's how it feels. That video I was talking about, he was hoping this is after. This is part two. If not, then this won't make sense. But the procrastination video I saw talked about the root cause of procrastination being inertia. Newton's first law, the idea that objects in motion stay in motion, objects at rest will stay at rest. And I was in motion last semester, and I have to keep pushing. I have to now get that motion back, you know. And so that's what I'm doing because it's my second day back, but my first day in school. Yesterday when I got back and I like unpacked everything and I could like take a second and decompress and realize I'm back on campus, it made me sad. It made me sad. And that's cuz socially I got to lock in here. I only have like one group of friends and that's cuz of poetry and I'm very glad I have them. But like I haven't seen them since December. So it's like I haven't seen them. Yeah, basically since December. It's like cool. My roommate, he a very social dude, and all credit to you. But man, you're not helping the cause. You know what I'm saying? You're not helping the man. I gotta get my stuff together. Man, I gotta be better. You're not helping that. But it's good because I don't want to sit and be lonely and like just antisocial and like stagnant alone. Like I see that, and I'm inspired by it. I envy it, and I try to replicate it. So I'm trying, but it's hard. It takes a little bit to make some friends. Truly, I'm becoming more aware of that as time goes on. It takes a little bit to get things going, to do this, to do that. It takes some effort. It takes some push. And so, yeah, you know, that's it. I just gotta, be better, um, be consistent, and my goal for this year, truly, above all else, is to take it one day at a time and to be excellent every day. If I can just be excellent every day, my bar of excellence might change. It might not be as high as it was yesterday or the day before that or the week before. It might be high here and it might be here some weeks. But if I can consistently be excellent, then I will have had an amazing year when I look back at it at the end. I will have had a sensational year, and that's how I got to do it. That's how I have to approach things. I just have to approach it, but little portions. Do this and do that. Do that and do this. Do this. Do that. Do that. One by one, one by one, one by one. Until suddenly the bowler is pushing itself. And I don't need to remind myself. I just do it. I just have made it a part of me, a part of who I am. I have absorbed it. I have absorbed it fully into my being. Because that's the goal. The goal when I get out of this place, I'm saying it like I'm in prison. The goal when I graduate, here's hoping the first time. Here's the first time. The goal when I graduate is to just have something lined up. First and foremost, have something lined up, and to also just be better. Be better than when I walked in. And it's almost a given, but like recently, things have been kind of hard. Just like I be, I'm too like perceptive and too. I feel too much. Like I was just like God. Like last night, I was just like, oh my God, I don't feel like I've done anything, and yet I have, and I don't feel like I've done anything. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh my God, this is sad. So I need therapy, but that's a story for another chapter in this. So yeah, that's me talking about thoughts and stuff. Feels pretty good.